One of the things I think that poets have to do these days is get past the pastoral idyll. There's still too many poets that sort of refuse to engage with the modern world. I try to reflect that feeling in my poetry that we have to engage with the modern world. This is called Computer. Computer. You can hit a book with a hammer and still read it. Thanks very much.
Who put the bob in the bob to bob to bob? Who put the ram in the ram-a-lamma ding-dong? Who put the bop in the bop-shu-bop-shu-bop? Who put the dip in the dip-to-dip-to-dip? You did. You did. You did. You did. You put the us in busted, you put the no in now. You put the X in sex, you put the ow in wow. You put the scar in scarlet, the yellow in yellow, the head in the low, and the low in shallow. You put the over in lover, the in between, the parting partner, and the me in mean. You put the art in heartache, the alone in baloney, the one in alone, and the army in barmy. You put the use in muse, and the nam in tsunami. You put the cold in cold, it's a cow in scale, the mile in spots, and mile in smile. You put the real in surreal, the leaving cleaver, the healing feeling, and the lie in believer. You put the cane in cocaine, the sin in business, the harm in charming, the mist in extremist, the car in carnage, the bang in bangers, the stern in western, and the anger in the clangers. You put the ill in killer, the lame in blame, the dent in accident, the aim in maim. You put the lice in police, the ice in lice, you put the ice in twice. You put the mouth in vermouth, the net in Nietzsche, the chill in chili, and the sky in whiskey. You put the you in us, the front in frontal, the end in men, and the men in mental. The ban in urban, the char in saccharine, the gent in urgent, and the Z in benzodrine. You put the urn in earnest, the urn in furnace. You put an arrow in a sparrow, in barrow, in furnace. You put me in a mental hospital. I put the cape in escape, disguised. I put the firm with Superman. I beat the rap with a drape. And now I sing because I'm single. Darling, ba-bump, ba-bump, ba-bump. I'm a honey, ram-a-lamma, ding-dong forever. And when I say da-dip, 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 you know I mean it from the bottom of my boogity, boogity, boogity shit. Cheers.
This is a poem about me. All my life, I found it difficult to take responsibility for myself. I blame my parents.
Precedented cash receipts glued asses to the seats, made sake tea. This was Spielberg's masterpiece, quite possibly perfect, historically pertinent. It brought alive 1975. Now I've seen pictures from the 70s, it just looked like a bit of a downer. Everything was dead brown and people had massive trousers. The 60s, they had social upheavals, the Beatles, power to the people, and more sex and drugs than you could handle. The 70s had, what, the Watergate scandal, the OPEC crisis, the rise in oil prices. I mean, sideways, it sounded lifeless. But Jaws enlivened people, even made a bunch of sequels. There was Jaws number 2, that drew a few appraisals. That's the one with the shark chewed through a cable. And there was Jaws number 3, which sort of got remade as Deep Blue Sea. I mean, the plot got a lot more absurd. We heard LL Cool J say, "You ate my bird." I know it didn't set any benchmarks. Them sharks, well smart. And then Jaws Revenge, which made absolutely no sense. It was completely... You just sat wide-eyed as Michael Caine tried to drive his career off a cliff. I mean, you know a bad decision's been made when a shark can express vindication. Who the hell was his agent? At least the sharks in 1, 2 and 3 were hungry. Jaws number 4 would just be... But Jaws number 1, that film's the bomb. 4 decades on, still going strong. I actually filmed a 50-metre swimming badge when I was in school because I got scared of sharks halfway and had to get out the pool. If I watch it now, I still feel threatened. I keep my feet in the settee so sharks can't get them. I'm probably being overly prudent, but I wouldn't get in the bath if you played the music. It set the blockbuster blueprint, undisputed. But on a darker note, do you remember when they found Ben Gardner's boat? Hooper and Brody were so scared by that floating head that neither of them even reported him dead. And then there was Quint's narrative about the sinking of the USS Indianapolis in the form of a dark soliloquy which served as an ominous precursor to his own death. Yes, then the shark at his legs as blood gushed out of his mouth and he screamed his final breath. That shit was fresh. I know I sound a bit obsessed. It actually led me to get quite depressed because I know nothing as good as it'll ever exist. I've seen everything there is with killer fish. I've even watched Extreme Fishing with Robson Green, but I've just come to feel all sorts of cheapened because I know as a film it'll never be beaten. I will never see anything half as decent where people get stalked and eaten. But then I downloaded The Grey with Liam Neeson, quality film.